He returns to Antwerp, where he, through his painting and his self-promotion, is at the center of three different royal dynasties: England, Spain, and France. And he is sent all over the world to conduct treaties while he's doing painting, while he's providing it. Of course, his most famous and Rubens' most famous Talmud is Van Dyck. There will be examples of Van Dyck's here in the house as well. But what we just get a sense of is there is no Rembrandt. So Rembrandt has made maybe 40 self-portraits of himself. I think I overstepped the boundary, the halachic boundary of the thing. It's an anti-Semitic boundary right here. Jews! Okay, Jews are coming close to Rubens, be gone. Just get a sense of how he paints himself, how he paints his wife. These are beautiful people. He shows them as you would see them on the cover of Vogue magazine. Right? He was in his 50s when he married his second wife, who was 16 years old.
Oh, that was his second wife?
His second wife. His second wife. His first wife was Isabella Brandt, and his second wife he married when he was in his 50s. But just to get a sense of how different his life was, you were in Rembrandt's house, now you're at Rubens' house, living entirely differently. He doesn't lose his house. He lives here until the end of his life. He has students here, but he's also using it he has 50 of his own works in his house when he dies, or maybe even more, I think maybe more than that. And so it's basically a museum to his own life and to his success. His life is amazing. And the question we have to ask ourselves is, ultimately, what do we want out of art? Do we want art just to show images of the truly beautiful, or do we want art to show us beauty even in despair, beauty even in the inner tsaras of humanity?
Did he price his paintings more? Is that why he got? How did he get the wealth?
Well, so that's a very good question. So Rembrandt begins as someone who's trying to imitate Rubens, but if you take a look at the anti-Semitic alarms going off, okay, if you take a look at his paintings, you'll see that everything he does is fine and not in what was called Rembrandt's rough style. Rembrandt could not help but pioneer and do individualistic things and change the way he painted and thereby change the way people saw things. He's painting voluptuous women, beautiful men, and the people in his biblical scenes are like that as well. And in Catholicism, art was meant to be that. Art was meant to be to give you an ideal.
So this was more sellable.
This is what people wanted.
Rembrandt, you'd be all right.
This is what Catholic Empire. No, if you Rembrandt, you would die broken alone, right?
If I owned a Rembrandt.
Nowadays, now Rembrandt is more valuable than Rubens today, but not when Rubens was alive. Not at all. Yeah. This is the gallery of Cornelius van der Geest. Okay, and this was a man who lived in Antwerp, so you just get a sense of what the art market was like in Antwerp. This is somebody who, I'm giving you a description. Here's an Antwerp room full of pictures and gentlemen. The gathering is impeccably well-heeled, soft-spoken, soberly attired. It has pretensions to aristocracy of a sort. Cornelius van der Geest, whose house this purports to be, has made sure that his painter, Willem van Hecht, has given due prominence to his coat of arms above the door. Everybody see that coat of arms above? There's a coat of arms.
There it is.
Yeah,
You can see it.
right, hanging above the door.
Right.
Okay. Never mind the tattle of foreigners who like to complain of the Flemish burghers' excessive fondness for heraldry. What they have here is these are people who have made money. Antwerp is a marketplace, a place of business. They've made tremendous amounts of money, and they want to hold themselves out like royals. This is not people living in Antwerp are not royals. They are Flemish people who, but because of the surge of the Dutch Golden Age, have made a tremendous amount of money, and so the art market explodes. And so he writes, it is with some justification that the gentlemen call themselves Kunstliefhebbers, literally lovers of art. And they want histories and grand portraits. And so that's basically the type of people that, first of all, that Rubens paints for, along with members of royalty, but it's also the type of house that he's seeking to create. He wants a house that will actually showcase his own art and his own work, and to be a testament to his own genius. So again, you look around, you get a sense of even Rembrandt lived in Rembrandt's house, and that was a chashuv house for his house. He lost it. And then you see this, and you get a sense of how Rubens was living. And Rubens, again, Rubens is living the generation before Rembrandt. He's still alive when Rembrandt starts to paint. Okay? He's living in he's painting in the end of the 16th century, beginning of the 17th century. And everyone wants to be him. And Rubens starts out his career painting like him. But he can't continue to do that. He cannot do it. But you get a sense of how different their lives were just by standing Shabbos in Rembrandt's house, Sunday in Rubens' house. And you see how differently their lives were. And Rembrandt's house was where he lived when his life was good. He lost when he went bankrupt. This is Rubens' house at the end of his life, in the last years of his life.
Rabbi, this is
And also it was owned by 30 years by David Bowie and was given by David Bowie to the Rubens house.
Rabbi,
Now that's chashuv.
what's that? He lived there too?
Yeah, this is all how his house largely was. Yeah. It's gone, it's stunning.
What was this room?
All part of the home. Yeah, beautiful room. The ceiling.
This was all this marble and everything.
That should be one of these, actually.
All this marble.